Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you more of what I've gotten done for the main mast and what's going to be coming for the upper or the middle and upper mast, and we're going to get the yards going and probably get most of this stuff painted, stained, and maybe even start installing it. So if you want to see all that and more, make sure you stay tuned. Hello BSC family, and welcome back to my bench. So today is going to be main mast. Now how far we get today I'm not quite sure. This might be two parts to this, I'm not quite sure. But anyways, so in the main mast you're starting off with a 10 mil mast, right? Or a 10 mil dowel. Now up here you got to put on one of these pieces. Now these things just aren't big enough, so I'm going to have to make a pin for the top of this, which is fine. But let's see if I can get this off for you. There we go. For the size, well, first of all, if you can see these two, this is supposed to be 1-to-1 scale. Now this is kind of what made me do this, and I'll explain. If you measure here, it's something like 8 mil, I think it was. Where's my thingy here? Right there. Okay. So, let's move a few things. So if you measure this one, right, this here is about 5/8. We'll even go on the big side of 6. All right, 6 mil. Okay, but if you come over here now, the last mast, this was equal, right? This side is not 6 mil. This side here, looking at it from the front of the mast, is 8 mil. Okay, so we got 8 and we got 6. So, looking at it from the side. So that kind of confused me, considering the last mast, the foremast, the lower section of it, round was the same both ways. So this to me is kind of indicating that this upper section of this lower mast should be like squarish, right? Squared off, not round. Okay, so by figuring that, what I did is, when you build your crow's nest or fighting nest, whatever you want to call it, if you notice, there is a smaller one and a bigger one. So, of course, you're going to be using a bigger one, right? And what I did is I measured in between, right? In between here. All right, let me zoom in a little bit here for you so you can see a little better. But anyways, I measured here, and we got 7.55 mil, right? Which is a little smaller than, or a little bit bigger than this, but a little bit smaller than that, right? So then I also went this way, sideways, and I got 599, so basically 6, right? So it works good for that, which in a sense kind of makes sense that way, right? So then what I did is I started off by going diagonally, and it's like, okay, it's pretty much 9 mil. So I tapered this from, wherever you want to start. I usually start mine about almost deck height from the highest deck that it goes through. I usually start about there and I taper it down. So I tapered it down to 9 mil, right? Then from there, what I did was I scribed it. I found center and I scribed it. Found center and I scribed it. So that one side was the side for here to here, and then the other side was the side for here to here, right? And I just slowly whittled away with it with the knife, sanding block and everything else, so that this, make sure I'm facing the right way, yep, this ends up fitting real snug right on top, right? So that's what you end up with, right? Having that square top, everything fits nice and neat. Right, everything fits real good in there. You see that? So I'll put everything will fit real nice in there once I got it all the way down. All right, and what I'll do now is, there's supposed to be a hole, so I'll probably whittle this down again, find center and whittle it down so that it fits inside that, and then that can get glued on afterwards, right? You usually use a little bit of 5-minute epoxy. So that'll be that part. That'll sit like that. That'll go on there. Now I don't know if I'll do the lower mast or the middle mast square, or if I'll do it round like I did with the rest of them. But yeah, so anyways, from that point on, I drilled my holes on here, right? Drilled the holes here for these dead eyes, right? I've got, do I have them done up yet? I think I did. Yes, I did. So now they show them pretty much tied tight to the steel ring. I didn't do that, like I said in the last one. So I can put these in, and it gives me some wiggle and bending room. So when you're tying your shroud lines, because that's what these are for, these would be for your shroud lines, you have some wiggle room on where they sit. If they were tied tight and it needs to bend over or something, or a little bit one way or another, because they do taper from here up, right? So you want to make sure that they are somewhat movable, right? You don't want them so rigid that you got one dead eye here and then, you know, it's kind of almost crooked, right? You don't want that. I got some blocks and everything all stained, ready to go. So this is all ready to be stained and painted. The only thing I have left to do is to drill these 4 holes here, right? Which will be in between the side blocks and the mast. And then I've got to put 2 holes, one in each side, for these little eyelets here for these other blocks, right? So I'm going to have to put them in. This dead eye here, I'll probably do the same as I did on the last one. And it doesn't tell you to do it here, but I'll take a piece of 2x2 stock, and I'll cut it probably about 8 mil or so long, and then I'll cut it diagonally, right, to give myself a stop block. So basically I'll be putting something like this on there, right? I don't know if you can see that. Let's zoom in for you. This, but anyways, I'll be making myself a stop block right there for this dead eye, you know, just to make it I don't know, more realistic, I guess. And yeah, I'll put that on so that when I tie that dead eye on and actually use it for a stay line, it doesn't want to slide up the yard, right? It wants to stay where it needs to be. So I'm going to get to going on the rest of this. I'll get the rest of this done. I'll get this stained and painted, and I'll do the same thing as I did with this. This was black, right, all in here, and these little pieces here were black, but this ring and this outer ring I painted red. So I'm going to do that on this one as well to match the other 2 that are already done. And then with the upper ones, I did the upper ones where they join, they have this cross piece, and that's it, just that cross piece. I painted that piece red on the uppers, so I had that little touch of red up high. All right, so I'm going to get to staining and assembling the rest of this stuff here. Come back, show you what it looks like, probably, either do or have done the upper masts and probably started on the yards. So I shall see you in a few. Okay, everybody, so it's been a few days since the last clip. And yeah, I got a whole bunch done and the masts are installed. So let me show you. I mean, it's pretty much the same as the first one was, right? We've got the lower mast here. Again, it's just a bigger diameter. It's installed straight. We've got the crow's nest area here. We've got all the dead eyes that are needed. Right, we got the masthead here, right? And if we move up a little bit further, now you can see that this one is taller than this one, right? Not by much, but it is taller, and this would be the tallest one. Now again, we've got all the blocks here that are needed. We get the masthead here, step block here, I believe is what they're called. Then we get all the blocks here. So yeah, everything is all completely done along this one here. All right. This one, the only difference is I can't zoom in, but right down here there is basically it's a hook against the mast that kind of goes like this, right? So you can hook a rope into it. Right, so this one has that. Don't believe that the mizzen mast has one, and that one doesn't have one. Right, so yeah, that's on. Still got to blacken up these tie downs or whatever you want to call them. Right, that's easy enough to do. Now we're gonna get working on the yards, which is basically the exact same thing here as these ones, right? Just a little bit bigger because it is the main mast with the main sails and all that, the mainsail and all that stuff. Like it's, so I am going to be doing the exact same way. I'll be pre-rigging, right, for everything to be loose, you know, because this is all loose and easy to turn right now. So eventually those will all be tied in. And yeah, we're going to get on to the mizzen mast next and the yards for them. After I'm done the yards for these ones, obviously. But the mizzen mast only has a lower and I guess an upper. It doesn't have a middle like these two do. So there's only two parts to the mast. And so that'll be a lot easier to do, be quicker. And I think there is, let me see, I'm just looking at the instructions here. Mizzen mast, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 yards, spars, depending on how you want to call them, because we got the long one, we got the middle one, we got the upper one, right? But then there is, I believe, one that goes on an angle, right? I'll have to double check, but I think that's the way it is. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. And then from there, we can probably get into doing the shrouds and the rat lines. So it is coming along, so definitely make sure you stay tuned. Yeah, we're going to see how much time I have with this. This might be a bit of a shorter one because I still got a lot of work to do. I need to get a video out for you guys, so I'm probably going to call it here. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on anything. Definitely give me a follow on my Instagram and my Facebook group. Links for them are down in the description. I like posting stuff there so that you guys can get little sneak peeks of what's going on. If you want to help out the channel in any way, you can check out my PayPal me, the join button. You can also check out the merch store. All of that, all the links for them are down in the description there. Please leave your comments and your thoughts down below. I love reading your comments. I love hearing your ideas, your suggestions, you know, things like that. Some of you have some great knowledge, so please share with me, share with others. And again, a big thanks to OcCre for sending me this kit for me to build for you guys. If you are interested in any type of wood ship, go check out their link down below. See what they have for ships, see what they have for workstations. I'm using the top of one right now, which is right over here. And you can go on my channel and see the unboxing and building of this workstation. It's been a great help. They also sent me, all the paints and everything, and the stains and varnishes that I need to do this ship. They also sent me the LEDs for this ship. And yeah, so definitely go check them out. Link down in the description. And with all that being said, no matter what you're building, just have fun, make it your own, and just build it for you. So until next time, later.